Hello. Yeah, well, this video it's been coming for a little bit and I've been kind of putting off making it because I was telling myself a story that I wasn't ready. And then we know that that's never true, right? We're never really ready. And so here I am recording this. So I'm going to ask you to bear with me a little bit. It might take me a few moments to kind of get into the flow and allow what wants to come through here to come through. But this really is a video that I'm recording for my brothers, for the men that I've connected with, that I have served, that I've spoken with, that I've invited to come in and work with me or be a part of the brotherhood, or the brothers that are kind of watching this, that have found their way to it. I want to share with you the journey that I've been on in the last few months and how many humbling realizations I've had to face about myself and see where I was not in alignment, see some painful things, let go of a lot, and the real beautiful gift that it's giving, where like the flourishing of everything that the holistic man and the liberation vortex and everything that has been building in this space is about, has really been coming together in a much more embodied way within me. And that's beautiful. And, it means that I'm able to show up and serve from a much more true and loving foundation. Whereas before, there was a lot of ego there and there was a lot of fear and unworthiness that was driving how I was showing up in my business without me really being aware of it, because my true intention in doing this is to serve and is to see a new earth that I know and can feel the frequency that's being built, that's building this new earth, this frequency of unconditional love and liberation and freedom and community and connection and abundance. Like I know and believe and feel that reality exists, and that you and I watching this have a calling, and not just a calling, but a very real, almost destiny to help co-create this. And that the medicine that is coming through me, and the medicine that I can offer as a intuitive space holder and a guide and a coach and facilitator, is to help brothers like you bring their gifts and step into their calling, your calling, to help create this. That's always been my true intention. But also there's been a lot of shadows coming in the way, throughout my years in business. And I've often seen these and kind of let go of layers of them. But as you probably know, we go through cycles, right? And there's often deeper layers that we need to come to on our journey of learning. And I want to speak to this because, I felt fear and kind of resistance before recording this video. And I said, when I leaned into it, I realized, actually, I've been putting off doing this because of this fear in me and this story that I'm not ready, because of how painful it was to face up to these shadows that were playing out. So I want to talk about these shadows, and I want to talk about what I've learned from them. And I want to talk about the real liberation that this is bringing through, so that you can apply it to your life and you can feel into what this brings up for you in your journey, because that's what this is all about, right? So let me kind of just bring you into this story for those that maybe didn't meet me out in America. I'm sure some of you watching are some of these brothers that I'll be kind of talking about here. But I spent 3 months recently in America, and was kind of really just called there. I felt it in my heart. There was an opportunity to go to Sedona and then Salt Lake City for 2 events by one of my most impactful teachers, a guy called Kyle Cease. And I chose to stay in Salt Lake City. There was something calling me there. I'd been plugged in and connected with community, people out there, and just, I had this most incredible, heart-opening, awakening 2 months that was painful a lot of times, because I was working through a lot of ways that I was keeping myself small and suppressed. And anyway, one of the kind of gifts that came through during my time there, when I worked with plant medicine, the plant medicine said to me, hey, you've got gifts to give. Why are you not giving them? You know, I was basically going through this period of trying really hard to sign my next group of clients. And because for, 6, 7, 8 months now, I've been kind of running into a lot of blocks with this and a lot of hindrances and resistance. And the fear was starting to come in and take over, as I saw my money start to dwindle. And, these doubts start to creep in after having created success earlier in the year and feeling really confident about who I am and the service I have to offer and the business and where it's going. This fear started to take over. And the fear was originally keeping me small. And this plant medicine said, hey, you've got gifts to give. Fuck all of the outcomes, fuck everything else. Just go and give those gifts, you can hold space for the brothers here in this amazing community and offer something new to them. And so I did that. I said yes, and I just posted a post out on the community page, and it felt really fearful. And I said, hey, I'm hosting a men's circle, and a number of brothers came, and then we did another one, and it was bigger, and it was really beautiful. And this flourishing came through of realizing what happens when we start to say yes to our heart, when we do the scary thing of expressing ourselves and putting ourselves out there and giving our gifts without an agenda and attachment to it, right? Without a need and a want to get something back in return. I really felt this, and I saw how the liberation vortex, and there's a video that I filmed on this channel, which you can go back and watch if you've not seen. It's about 28-minute kind of just share of everything about what this kind of philosophy and idea coming through me is, and it's really powerful. And that came, in a moment of inspiration because I started making these decisions to say yes to, again, giving my gifts, to sharing without an agenda, without an attachment. So that was beautiful. And then, a number of guys were like, wow, yeah, I really see this. I see the medicine. I want to work with you. Let's kind of make this happen. But it didn't, basically, with every single one of these things, for whatever reason, it fell through. And in a number of them, basically, they would really did me a service by reflecting to me ways that kind of, I guess I thought I was coming from a really heart-centered place of service, but actually when I looked deeper and through their reflection was able to see that there were parts of me trying to manipulate these brothers, these men, to come and work with me. Basically fueled by a part of me that was afraid, this part of me that was seeing my money run out and in essence felt separate from the money, felt separate from the success, felt separate from this next group of clients. And like I had to do something to make it happen so that I could survive, basically. This is what ego and separation is and how it shows up and sabotages us, right? And it sabotaged me in this instance because, instead of really being 100% focused on the people in front of me and just like, how can I best serve these people? There was that, but there was also, and I need to get something from them. I need to get people into my business because if I don't, I'm fucked. That was kind of the story that was running away. And creating distortion and stickiness and messiness. So naturally and really thankfully, these guys didn't come in and work with me, and I came home and had to things didn't flow and the business didn't come in. And I had to really lean into this and just accept, okay, life is really slowing me down here to show me something. There's a reason why suddenly I'm not able to create clients, whereas in the past I found it easy at times and other times I've also found it difficult. Like, what's going on? And leaned into the life that I was being given instead of what I was wanting. Because this is the other thing, my ego, my mind was really attached to this identity I'd built up for myself, This is the year when I've created success in my business and I've become a digital nomad and I'm traveling around the world and I flew out business class to America and, all these kind of things that my ego wanted, that was attached to. I'd got them and created them, and now I didn't want to lose them because it had defaulted my sense of self. I had defaulted my sense of who I am to these things. So there was this opportunity to go to Peru, and I was trying to make all that happen instead of really being present with what was showing up here in my life now. And as I let go and started to accept that these things that I wanted to happen weren't going to happen, and maybe they didn't, maybe it wasn't actually the most loving thing, to happen, I gave myself permission to really let go and just relax and stop trying for a moment and notice that, hey, I'm safe and I'm protected and I'm very blessed to have parents who love me, who are offering me, you know, a place to stay. And, you know, it's like beautiful. And I can really I could really accept and lean into that. And as I've done that, what it's given me space to do is to really see where I've not been in alignment, to see where I have been, again, coming from this place of fear and lack and not enoughness, and trying to manipulate and control things, which leads to manipulating and controlling people, which, whether they were consciously aware of it or not, they were picking up on. And so things didn't flow, you know, this beautiful calling, this amazing brotherhood and this medicine that's wanting to come through me. And that if you're watching this, I imagine in some level you're called to it, whether it's called to be a part of it or just that there are values and essences and qualities within what we're building here that align with you. You know, it moved from something that started off as pure inspiration and just magic unfolding into this like sticky thing that I felt like I had to control and make happen, and then it wasn't happening. So, you know, as I've really looked into that in myself and just seen how much fear I had in me, truthfully, like how afraid I was of failing, how afraid I was of not being enough, not being able to live up to this really big vision and calling that's been coming through me. You know, and basically this story that I, as I am not enough, am not enough for this massive vision that I'm saying yes to. And then there's also these parts that then kind of distort and blow up that vision, right? To make it about the money and the success and the fame and all these things that deep down we kind of know our ego's craving for, but we often try and deny because we kind of like judge them. Certainly, I say it's happening within me, it was. Instead of just really focusing on the essence of what it's all about. And I'm really grateful to say, like in the last couple months, I've been able to connect with that essence and surrender into remembering really what it is and how simple it is. And I know from speaking to a number of people that this is actually something that's been in the collective field. And so maybe you resonate with this, that there's been this realization of how our hearts just want to be open. Like really, all we really want is to be in our heart, to feel love, to feel joy, to feel peace, to know that we're taken care of, and to connect with other human beings, you know, to create what our hearts want to create and express without the judgment and control of needing it to be good or like whatever. We just want to be in our hearts and be free to live as heart beings. Like it's a remarkably simple thing to live a happy, joyful, abundant life. When we allow it to be, when we acknowledge that it's just what you really want is to be in your heart. And when I really started to see this, it was like, yeah, I don't really care about those things. I want to be in my heart. I want to be me. I want to feel free to share who I am with the world, to co-create with beautiful, inspiring people, and to just create heaven on earth, but without making it this big, egoic, massive thing. Oh my God, I've got to take care and change the world. It's like, no, let me change my world and embody the truest, freest, liberated, most loving version of me that I can be, and co-create and serve and connect with people in the process of that, and trust that whatever was then meant to unfold is going to unfold. And before this realization, a lot of my kind of marketing, a lot of my spiel was about like, you know, we're leaders of the new earth and we're building this new earth. And that's all still really true, but it was focusing on the output. It was focusing on like, you know, you've got a big mission and all this kind of go get it, hustle, grind, kind of Tony Robbins masculine energy type stuff, which is great and powerful. But as I'm realizing is not often the real heart's truth. Or is like a projection or an expression of it. That the heart's truth is much simpler and much more freeing and much less pressurizing, you know? And this is the energy of liberation. This is like the real freedom to realize there's no pressure, there's no obligation. You're not being forced into doing things you don't want to do. And that you live in a benevolent, friendly universe that just wants to support you to create what you choose to create. And instead of seeing yourself, and this is applying to me, instead of seeing myself separate from what I want, what I'm noticing is my heart is the universe. Like when I'm in my heart, I am connected with the oneness of life. And therefore what benefits my heart benefits all hearts. It can't be otherwise. But when I'm coming from my mind and from the belief that I'm separate from what I want, and therefore that like other people have what I want and what I need, and I need to convince or manipulate them, you know, this is kind of the fearful scarcity, separate, competitive conditioning that a lot of us are having to move through, and that sabotages us and that makes us treat and create a life of struggle and fight and grind instead of flow and freedom and joy. You know, this is everything that the liberation vortex, everything that the holistic man is about. And I'm so grateful to the brothers that I connected with who reflected to me where I wasn't in alignment with this, you know, that have given me this gift to really slow down and see it. And yeah, I guess this was a video to speak to that. You know, it's like there's so many realizations and there's so many shifts that are coming through that there's a part of me that doesn't feel like I'm doing it justice. But also a huge part of it is like acknowledging that that's okay, you know, and that it's not even about that anymore. It's not about getting a perfect product or a perfect message. You know, it's about the joy of taking the shackles off and letting your heart sing what it wants to sing, imperfectly, boldly, and beautifully, and recognize that that's enough. You know, even if no one sees it, the act of expressing and shining is changing the world. Like that is the new earth. That is what it means to be a leader of the new earth. That is what it means to be on your purpose and on your mission. And as I'm giving myself more and more permission to lean into this and feel the inspiration and the empowerment that comes simply from embodying that without needing to try and control and make outcomes happen, I'm feeling everything that, again, if you want to go back and watch that video, the 29-minute video of what the holistic man's about, or just feel into what I'm sharing here, I'm feeling that come through, and I want to share it. You know, I want to share it with people again, and I want to co-create and just serve in whatever way I can. You know, give my gifts to help people see through the limitations and the stories and the fears and traumas that are stopping you from feeling and living as your liberated self, and really bringing your gifts, because I'm really discovering the way of the magician, the way of the wizard, the way of magic, right? That again, life doesn't have to be a struggle and a fight and a grind, that actually it really is possible to create things effortlessly and easily and beautifully, and that it all comes back to this and being in our heart. So just take a moment and just connect with your heart with me. Just place a hand or both hands on your heart. Just take a real deep and conscious breath into that space and let it go. And I just want to invite you just to give yourself space to receive whatever message your heart has for you today. Like what does your heart want to do? Aside from all the stories, aside from all the, I've got this that I need to sort out, I need to pay these bills, I need to, because, you know, that's the energy of fear and the energy of control that is probably sabotaging what you're trying to create. It was with me. And for a moment, just slow down and lean into this question. If everything is genuinely okay, which it is, but if everything was okay, what would I want to do today? What would I want to create? Just feel into that. And if something doesn't come up in this video, then take some time after this and write it down. When I leaned into this the other day, what I noticed was my heart wanted to just lie down all day and just relax. And it's so important, if you feel a calling to do that, that you let yourself do it, because this is about regulating your nervous system, right? This is about moving your body and your mind from a state of survival into thrival, into thriving. I like that rhyme, even though it doesn't. Thrival's not a word. We're moving from surviving to thriving, and we hear that a lot, and it's often something that's kind of bandied around, right? But if you're anything like me, you probably hear these things and you rationally understand them, but are you really allowing yourself the time and space to fully receive and embody them? Because that's the difference. That's what I wasn't doing before. I was getting these downloads and getting them out there and moving from the survival, fearful part of me that felt in a rush to get this stuff out there so that I could tap into this scarce world and make sure I get paid. We got to fuck that off, you know, and we've got to like really slow down and breathe and give ourselves space to just relax and lie down and feel all the fear that comes up. Feel the parts of you that say, oh my God, if you do this, then, you know, you're not going to get that, or you're going to be caught out, or like all these stories. Give yourself space and time to see and witness those stories and realize that they're just assumptions that aren't true, and that you live in an infinite, abundant universe, that when you are relaxed and in your heart and safe, and you know that you're safe, you're able to tap into and co-create with that abundance. And that is what the new earth is about. That's what the holistic man's about. That's what the liberation vortex is about. That's what this space is about. And that's what I am here to offer with my medicine and my message. And would love to serve you in helping you, you know, connect with what this is for you, you know, your real heart's truth, like what it really means to be free. Not free when you've signed those clients, not free when you have this certain level of money so that you feel safe. Free now, like truly liberated now. Because this is the only space that we can create a new earth from. We have to come from the new earth frequency. And that's the time that we're in right now. So I'm going to wrap this video up. I really appreciate you watching it. I'd love to hear in the comments what you got from it. Like, please do share with me if there's something that came up for you that you've experienced in your journey with this. Did you see some of these shadows in me? Is there anything I'd love to hear? And yeah, thank you for being plugged into my space. You know, this is really the beginning of something. And I know that I'm now, what I was trying to do before was trying to build a castle on a foundation of sand, you know, which is the foundation of scarcity, lack, and not enoughness. And now I'm really giving myself time and space to deepen into the foundation of love and who I really am. And that's the medicine that I can offer, the gift that I can offer right now. You know, I'm not going to complicate it by trying to build out these big programs and everything. Like, all of this is coming. For now, all I just want to say is, like, you know, if you really want to deepen into your foundation, to see where you're moving from fear, lack, scarcity, and old patterns, like, I have a real gift for helping people see through these things and let them go. And I'd love to serve you with that. So yeah, if you watch this, you feel a call to that. In the link below this video, in the link in my bio, you'll see there'll be a link to book yourself in for a free call with me. You know, I'm going to offer this a free liberation session. The value of it is at least a few £100. But I'm offering it for free right now because I want to serve you. And if you're in this space, you know, like, I'm not going to promote this video to anyone other than the people I really send it to and care about. But yeah, if you've not had one of those sessions, or you want one, like, feel free to book. And yeah, let's create heaven on earth, right? And it starts within our own hearts and our own bodies and our own minds. The final thing I'm going to say is that I'm hosting another free Liberation Vortex on Sunday, I think it's the 18th. It's Wednesday the 14th now when I'm filming this. Thursday 15th, Friday 16th, Sunday the 18th. Sunday the 18th, 4 p.m. UK time. It's going to be a free open vortex. The last one was beautiful in January, about a month ago. This one's going to be even more amazing. I can feel it. So yeah, if you want to be a part of that, I'll be sending the link out to my email list. So that will also be a link in the video, in the bio below. You'll see the link to sign up to my mailing list if you're not already on that, and get yourself booked in for a one-to-one with me if you'd like to do that. And, you know, let's just co-create and serve and bring your magic out and really help you find those feelings of freedom, safety, security, and love that are your birthright. Because that's what it's all about. Thank you. I appreciate you. I love you. And I'll see you in the next video as we create this. I've also got a podcast coming out, but I'm not going to say any more on that for now because I've already wrapped up. But yeah, keep an eye out. Appreciate you.